Hey everyone, this is Nick from Mecca Warehouse, and today we're back with weekly update number 116. So let's just kick things off with week in review. So we're going to talk about what's been going on here in the warehouse, things that are coming up, stuff like that. And first off, let's talk about the HG aerials coming in. Friday was, I think, our fifth biggest day ever, so not the biggest ever, but the biggest driver of sales was definitely the HG Aerial and HG Ilfrith. There's definitely some other kits that were moving pretty well too, but those were the biggest drivers of sales through the weekend and continue to be. They're still both in stock, at least as of Thursday morning. I expect Ilfrith will probably run out sometime on Friday or Saturday, depending on how much sales ramp up based on the current rate that they're going. The HG aerials might last through the weekend and into next week. They might not. It depends. They're definitely the more popular of the two. I thought when we got them in that we got, especially the aerial, I thought I got too much, but apparently the state of the market, no one else has them right now or something, and we're not scalping the prices or anything like that, so people are excited to be able to get them at retail and not at a ridiculous markup. But that has led to a record number of orders. So while Friday, sales-wise, dollar value-wise, was only the fifth biggest day ever, it very well might have been our largest number of orders on a single day ever. I don't have that stat tracked, and it's not easy to go back and get that data. At some point, maybe I will go back and do the research to see if it was and where it stands. But it definitely was a lot of orders. We started the week behind by about a week worth of orders, and we've been working really hard trying to get caught up. We've been running a third packing station either all day or part of the day all week. We grabbed the filming desk that we use. My laptop ended up in the mix, and we grabbed a spare label printer that we have. We've been having some difficulty with the label printer. We might have to send it back for a replacement, but we've been trying to make it work, and we're gradually catching up. That said, though, this weekend might set us back even further than we were at the beginning of this week. I suspect at some point, especially once the aerials and Ilfriths sell out, that we will start catching up a little bit faster. But it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. This week, the big driver, I think, is going to be Gaia. So we've got Gaia in stock starting Friday. We're restocking it for the first time ever. I guess stocking it for the first time ever. Gaia is a premium line of lacquer paints. From everything I've heard, they're super popular and don't tend to stay in stock anywhere for very long. So I suspect we'll see the same with our restock. So if you're interested in them, I wouldn't wait super long, just because they're probably not going to last super long. We probably won't be able to maintain a ongoing supply until the next order or the order after it, until we kind of get a feel for what the long-term demand and supply needs really are. We tried not to overbuy, and because we weren't able to get in on the pre-order, we weren't able to get even what we wanted on everything with this order. So that's kind of it with week in review. It's been a crazy week. I feel like I've spent all week just printing orders, trying to keep 3 packing stations going. It's definitely been a drain on my time, but good problems, like I mentioned in the year in review video. Let's move on to pre-orders. Only 2 new pre-orders this week. The Sosai Shoujo Teien Koyomi Takanashi Swim Style and the Dreaming Style Black Swan version. So girl kits in some sort of bathing suit kind of thing. I don't know much about the series or anything about them, but they're up. People were interested in them, so we got them, and so those are up now. So that's it for pre-orders. Let's do restocks. Small set of restocks this week. Gaia is the main one. A few kits, a few figures, and let's check that out. Restocks. First up, let's go through the Bandai stuff. Not a huge restock this week. We've got the Gundam XX high grade. So I think the only high grade this week. A few master grades. Crossbone X1 Verka. We've had this one, I think it restocked a week or 2 ago. We got some more, and I think that's basically a top off. The one new one this week, master grade wise, is the Proto Zero. I've built this one. It's a solid kit. I'd highly recommend it. So we got those in as well this week. Blitz Gundam, this is definitely a top off. We've had these in stock for a little while now, so they're still there if you are interested in one. We also got the dual Gundam Assault Shroud, another one we're topping off, and then finally the Master Grade Destiny Extreme Blast Mode, also a top off. We've had these ones in stock too for a little while. Although I think these ones are running low. We got a few figures from Bandai as well. This NX Edge style Beelzemon Blast Mode. So if you're into Digimon, that might be of interest to you. We also got two of the new Gundam Universe figures. The Gundam Full Burner GP01, GU21 here, and the Leo GU22. I like the styling on this is kind of interesting. I kind of wish there was a kit with that that styling of the Leo design. We also got a few other kits and a book. So let's go over the book first. So we got this, it's the Mackay Lincoln Report Volume 1. So Lincoln Wright is a I don't know, social media presence, I guess. He's big into the Mackay space, and this is the only English language licensed Mackay book out there. It's actually pretty cool. I was flipping through it earlier. It's got a bunch of like history kind of stuff, a lot of great artwork and tutorial type stuff on how he got certain effects. So even if you're not into Mackay, it might be interesting from a weathering, modeling perspective to give you some tips and pointers on stuff. We also got some other kits, Max Factory, Metal Jacket, Senomaru. Kind of interesting SD-ish design. It is very short, very interesting proportions. So if you're an SDs, that might be a cool one for you. We got the Aura Battler Turbine. Kind of an interesting design aesthetic to this. It's not really my cup of tea. I don't know what it's from, but it's definitely different. And then the Motoroid B Riot. This is from what's this, Full Metal Madness or something? It's from a game, I guess. Kind of an interesting to me. It's almost like a Goof and a Xeon, not a Goof, a Xeon. Yeah, a Goof and a Xeon got together and had robot babies. It's kind of a cool shield, big fist. Interesting kind of design to that as well. And then on top of that, we got Gaia paint. So Gaia paint, we got pretty much all. I think there might have been a few colors we weren't able to get in this time, but we got most of the Gaia paint line. They're premium lacquer paint line. Let's see if I can figure out how to hold these in a way that's not going to result in me dropping them. Just grabbed a few examples here to show you. We got a lot of stuff. They're known for some of their metallics as well. So I grabbed a couple of those as examples. Silver Bright Gold, or Star Bright Gold, Star Bright Silver, and I think this particular line, they've got some other premium series paints as well, premium silver plate, premium mirror chrome. So I've heard some of these are really good. Clearly, if you're already into these, you probably know more about them than I do because I don't use lacquer paints, but they're supposed to be really good paints and they supposedly don't last very long. So hopefully you know what you want before you saw this because they might be gone already, but we will try to get them again in the future. All right, that's it for Restocks. Like I mentioned earlier with the Gaia paint, you definitely want to jump on that ASAP. If you're interested, it probably won't last long. And we do have the HG8 Ariel and Ilfrith in stock, I believe, unless something crazy happened between when I filmed this and when you see this. But they won't be lasting super long, so jump on those if you need them. Okay, Q&A. This is the part of the video where I answer questions from you, the viewer. If you have a question you want answered, post it down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer it next week. First up, MJRL Hobby Stuff, Q&A. What is the kit in your backlog you can't wait to build? And what unreleased kit are you looking forward to building? So the kit I can't wait to build, I'm actually in the process of building a bunch of them actually. And that's the 30 Missions submachine, exit vehicle submachine, whatever it's called, mass-produced submachine maybe. It's like a little like half-sized walker in that 1/144 scale. I'm building 4 of them to do a diorama with, and I couldn't wait basically, so I had to do them. So the thing that I can't wait to build is the thing that I'm going to build next for the most part, and that is that one. As far as unreleased kit, I'm looking forward to building. I don't tend to get super excited and wrapped up with new releases, and I don't know that there's anything coming out that is like even a must have for me. So I don't know if I even have an answer to that one. Sorry. Okay, next up, Sigma Focus. Happy New Year. Ordered from y'all for the first time today when it's seeing the Gun Mercury in stock, so I snagged a couple, as well as some 30-minute missions kits. Already looking forward to ordering more soon. Thank you. Question, what are the chances of getting any HGBF Jim restock? I'm still pretty new to the hobby, started last year, so I'm not familiar with the gunpla. Would be running in to get restocked versus not. Anyways, thanks for doing what you're doing. So things restock periodically. They decide to reprint kits sometimes once a year, sometimes every few years, sometimes multiple times a year. There's definitely items that get reprinted almost quarterly because they're very popular. And there's items that get reprinted much less frequently because they're less popular. Or maybe they were popular before and then, you know, demand has waned. We don't currently have any Jims on order. I suspect it'll come back around eventually. It's a pretty solid kit from what I remember. But I don't know when that will be. It wasn't on the most recent solicitation, so it'll be at least, you know, 6 months, and it could be longer depending on whether they prioritize reprinting it. Okay, next up, ADRN. Do you edit videos, content yourself, recording audio, thumbnails, etc.? If you do, it's very impressive. Got to hand to you for that. I do not. So we've got 2 people on our media team. Santana, who is remote. She was here full-time in-house, and then she had to move for some family reasons. So she's still working for us part-time remotely and kind of leading the media team and continuing that process on. And then we got Ethan here in the warehouse. He helps with some of the warehouse stuff too now from time to time, but he does a lot of our filming and also some of our editing, some of our content editing, all that kind of stuff. And so they both do a great job and allow us to do all the content and stuff that we do and take the burden off of me. When I first started doing that kind of stuff, I had a remote editor for a while. I tried doing it in-house when she had to go back to her day job as COVID kind of wound up or whatever ended up. And it kind of sucked for me because it's a lot of work, and so as soon as I could get somebody to take that off of my plate, I did, and it's been amazing for numerous reasons, and we got a good team for that. Okay, next up, Alan Tam 89. You mentioned the PG Unleashed RX-78 being on order. When do you expect people will be able to place pre-orders for it? If not pre-order, do you have a rough estimate of when they'll be available for order? I forget what month they were on for production. They should be here relatively soon, though. It all depends. We've got a pretty big queue of stuff to get shipped from our distributor, more than we can receive at one time. So what stuff we get in what order is going to depend on what they want to do and what they want to send. I think I can ask for certain things, but they're not necessarily going to fulfill those things if something else makes more sense for them to send first. So I would suspect sometime over the next 3 to 6 months, hopefully, as we work through that backlog and get caught up receiving stuff. But I don't know for sure. We might do early bird orders on it. We might not. It really depends on the timing. And based on what I'm hearing, it sounds like until something's ready to ship, it's not guaranteed to actually ship because they're shifting inventory for different customers and trying to figure out how to fulfill orders in whatever order they can to clear out their warehouse space. So all that will depend, and I can't really give you a date right now. Okay, next up, plastic germs. Question, what happened to next tips section of the video? So basically, life happened. We've been so busy lately, and that's the one section that required kind of forethought. I'd have to plan it out ahead of time. What do we want to do? Figure out what to film, have whatever materials needed to film it, and it's a lot more work. And lately I've been barely able to do the like mission critical, keep the business running kind of stuff. I've just been so busy. I'm printing out orders, you know, an ideal times Dylan's printing orders these days. So all that kind of stuff weighs on me a little bit more and is making it harder to get everything done. And so that was an easy thing to kind of sweep aside for now. I suspect it will come back as things get back to kind of quote-unquote normal for us and life gets a little bit easier. But I don't know when that will be exactly. Hopefully soon. And then fun question, mountain view or ocean view? I'd say probably mountain view. I totally love the mountains. There's up here in New Hampshire, the northern New Hampshire, there's a lot of mountains, a lot of hiking, stuff like that. And some of my favorite like vacation kind of trips were when we went up there. Flume Gorge is beautiful, and those kind of views are great in my opinion. The ocean's great too, but that's definitely, I think, my preference. Okay, and I think we got one more. GG. Hey Nick, would you pack my order 41159 in video next week? So it's a great question. So we're going to probably start trying to film some videos. It'd be good for TikTok content, things like that, around packing specific orders and stuff like that. Right now, where we're so backed up though, I'm trying not to do anything that detracts from our ability to get caught up, because we are so far behind and we want to try to get back on track ASAP. Because we pick and pack orders in a batch, it's not as simple as picking one order, picking the item, and packing the item. If we don't want to interrupt the packing station, we need to basically pick all 10 orders, pack all 10 orders, and it makes it a little bit harder to coordinate. It becomes like an extra stressor, an extra thing that someone has to worry about when they're packing, and we're trying to keep them focused on getting us caught up, if that makes sense. We'll probably make some announcements as we start packing orders on how you might be able to get in the queue to have an order packed. And I think I sent you a message back directly, but if you're willing to wait for your order to wait until, you know, we get kind of caught up, then we can do that, but it might take a couple weeks before we can ship out your order if that's the case. So I think that is it for questions. So if you have a question you want answered, post it down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer it next time. Thank you for watching. See you next time.